Hey everyone, this is a Hamburg fly. Today we are going to be tying a intruder fly that I like to use here on the Great Lakes, Western New York region. Seems to do well for me. So what we're going to tie on today is a fire hole shank. This is a 2.25 millimeter. I like the bigger ones just because you can cut them down if necessary. We'll do a stamp it in there. Usually I like to run this about 2 inches. We'll be using black 150 denier thread. What I'll do first is I typically just like to run the line down to about where it is I want the fly to end. So I'm gonna go for about 2.5. I got my trusty little ruler here, just kind of line that up about 3.5, 3.25. That's about right. Cut this off. Again, 3.25, and about a little over 3. That's fine. That'll work fine. I like to use wire. I use this Cevalon for intruder wire. It's nice because it's pretty flimsy. It does give a lot of grip. It doesn't kink up real bad. And I like it because it'll hold over time versus like a piece of braid or fire wire, which will eventually lose its ability, and it'll just get real soft and your fly will hang down below, which I don't like. Hooks, I'm using blood runs, number 2s, 2/0, sharp hook, relatively decent price too. I mean, I think it's like $7 for 25 hooks. So to run that through like that, run it back through, and run the hook through. So you kind of, looks like that. So then just kind of pull a little slowly, work your way down to it. Nice and tight there. And then I'll take it, I'll just kind of work it in a little. And work this side out, work this side out, just work it in. Then we'll tie it in. We'll go right about there, looks pretty good. I'll work it down like that. And then I'll work it up slow, tight wraps all the way back. Which I just caught the piece of the wire just cut. So you gotta go over that nice and slow so it doesn't cut it again. Now, you know, if you don't feel secure in it, you can put some glue or UV cure, you know, make that hold in nice. But I've never lost a fish on this, so okay. We're all set there. Gonna leave that back shank until the end. That's when I'll cut it. First, we are going to tie on just a little bit of ice dubbing, orange in the back, kind of a hot point. Just do put some fine little wraps here. You always want to twist one way. Nice tight wraps with this. Start in the back. Just work your way forward. Pull it back. Just kind of keep it nice and tight. Perfect. There's your little hot point. Trim it out if you want. You can leave it. It's not a big deal. Then What I like to do is I will go with the Antron red. A lot of times if I'm not using the hot point, I'll use an orange, and then that'll be kind of act as my hot point. What you want to do is you want to cut off about 3 or 4 2-inch sections. We'll go with 4 today. I'll do 1 more. Get them in a line, and then what I do is you get a wire brush. So you got them like this. Now brush it out. Take it, wire brush, brush it out real good. The other side. There you go. Now it's nice and loose and flaming. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to end up putting it into a dubbing loop right over top of this. Go around, back. Always go twice around. And come tight to where you want it to loop in. Wrap up a little. I always like to wrap up because you can always wrap back. You know, unwrap to get back to where you want to be. And I'm going to space this apart a little. Run their fingers through it, just get nice and separated. I'm going to run this into the dubbing loop. Just like this. Get it about halfway on each side, like that. Got something you can separate that a little bit more with. Spin it up. Nice little spin. It's gonna look funky at first, but I'm sure it will come out nice. Then you're gonna want to just nice and easy pull the threads apart. Okay, there you go. You get your red nice and separated. Fibered out. Paper hackle pliers. Off, and now we're going to wrap this for it. Grab some water real quick, which I forgot to grab. Always have a bowl of water next to you. You don't want to be licking your fingers and, you know, prying this stuff back. It's not good for you. There's dyes and all types of weird stuff in this, so I would recommend get a good bowl of water, keep it next to your fly desk. All right, so now we're going to start wrapping. A little bit at a time. Feathering it back. There you go. So now back wrap comes into play here, as I like to do. Come in, wrap it tight. All right, now we can get that off. Take that up. And we're going to come in and just pry this out. There you go. Got a nice red back. Small time. Now, for the body, we're going to do a blue tinsel. You got your blue and gold on each side. I like the blue on this one. Pushes through a lot nicer. So whatever color side you want, that's the side you want to go against the shank. So we want blue. So you're going to be looking at the gold. Get it tight to it. Wrap. Push your thumb against it. There you go. Work it on. Now work it back to right. Nice and tight here. There. Work it back down. I'm going to come with this pretty far. I'm going to come just to right where the wire ended. Just a little hump there. I'm just going to go in and wrap this now down. 2 more wraps here. One more. Perfect. Wrap it around. 2, 3. I trim that out. I do like to use a little bit of the Loon UV. You don't need a lot, very little amount on there. Just go and just apply just on the tops, sides, get into the back a little. There. As you're kind of rotating it back and forth so it doesn't drip and or stay bulked up in one spot. Just kind of rotate your vise back and forth while you do it so it gets nice and even around the tinsel. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to need to create some type of collar here. I'm going to use some I am going to use some Arctic Fox, not the tail though, thicker stuff. Thought I had some Korean black, olive. I do have some in the olive, so I guess I'll be using that. Now this is the tail. This is a little bit longer. I like to use this more for big streamers or whatnot, but I'll still work for a nice collar. You want the thicker end of it though down at the bottom. You don't need a whole lot. Take it, pull out whatever end pieces are in there. Again, doesn't have to be a huge amount. What we're going to do is we're going to put it on my little dubbing loop sheet. Inch down, inch across. Kind of give you an idea of what you want as far as piecing it out together. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to lay it about 3/4 in, spread it out a little. Then I am actually going to put a little orange over top of it. Not a lot, very little. Should probably put some on the other side too. Should do, maybe I'll flip it and we'll do that. Just kind of just keep it all together. I'll lay a little bit down below it in a clump. And then I'm going to grab it and I'm going to put it on top of that. So it's kind of all in a piece together. Okay. So you can either grab this with your fingers, or if you got, you know, some chip bags, or kind of what I put together for more. Those always come in handy handling this stuff because it's just a little easier to push it down and keep it right in there nice and easy, just like that. All right, we'll put it into our dubbing loop. Okay. In the loop. Now you're going to want to just make sure it's kind of space it out. Again, you're going to want a lot of this because you're going to want it to be bulky. I might cut off some. Maybe 1/4 inch at the back here. Not much. Just to make sure it's nice and even. that. Now we're gonna run another loop. Spin it out. Nice little turns. Spin it a little faster. Now it's gonna, again, look funky, but you're gonna pick it out and then brush this out. So pick and brush, because you wanna keep a lot of these fibers in here. Then see how I'm holding my finger? If you run it back or if you run it up, it'll turn it as you're doing it. So if you're just picking away, you know, you want to go to a little, just run your finger up. It'll turn it for you. Run it back. Now I would also advise picking up and down at it. Get some of the clumps out. Now I'm gonna brush it, not with a wire brush, just a little plastic guy, because like I said, I want to keep a lot of these fibers intact. I think sometimes if you brush too hard with the wire, it'll take a lot of it out. There we go. So this is gonna be our counter. Clip that off. Again, water. Spit is fine. I want to be using your spit. Pinch that together. Start to wrap forward. Now it's like to wrap up again. Try to make nice tight wraps with this, because you want it to make a ball here in a sense. You want it to be tight, and that just broke. So it's never a good thing because I caught it. Pull too hard with some of this deniers, it will break. A little bit more water, just to kind of. Okay, we're gonna run back, get into the loop, nice and tight. 1, 2. God damn, I'm in trouble with this today. I don't think it caused it to lose anything, so I think okay. Step this out. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pick this out again. Nice color, look at that. And then you're gonna have some nice fibers flowing over the back of the white. Now what we're gonna do is get a nice big piece of white Marabou Select. Hopefully get a nice big old piece of it, which kind of running out of Select, but I mean, I'm assuming that might be able to do the trick okay, hopefully. Sometimes with the Select though, versus just a regular nice piece of Marabou, is the stem. Stem could be a problem. People have, you know, difficulties with tying it in on the head there. Wet that off to get a nice clean tie-in point. Come back, keep that nice and tight. Now you want to find the curvature of it. How is it curving? So this one's kind of curving forward. And we're going to tighten it. I like to grab it, wrap it around, just to snug it in nice and tight. Snip it out and go back over it. Now, got my hackle pliers, and we're going to start working this white back. Fingers just a little moist there, so you can start working some of this Marabou back. And then start wrapping. More nice tight wraps. Keep wrapping. All right. I'm going to tie up. Come around underneath this nice and tight. Now this is where this can get a little tricky. Do about 5 good wraps. That's nice and tight in there. And we're going to snugly just get this out of there. Pull it out. Nice clean part. Pull back. And we're going to wrap this down so we get that nice and covered up underneath. A little particle right there. Might be able to snip that out. If not, it's not going to kill it. All right. Okay, now we're going to brush it out. Wire brush. Now we're going to throw some flash on it. Some Flashabou. I like to do like 2 pieces on the sides and then maybe a little bit of olive over the top. We're going to grab our flash. We're going to run it along the sides here, almost to the hook goes, just about to the end. Keep it in tight. Wrap 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to pull this, wrap 1, 2, 3. Come back to where it's going to be and cut it off. So now you got nice 3 parts each side. And now we're going to go with a little of the green flash right over the top. 1, 2, 3. Pull it out straight. Come back. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to wrap it nice and tight. Get this head nice and clean. Like that. Get your whip finisher. One, 2, 3. Get there. And now we're going to grab UV Loon again. Come in nice and tight here and do a nice drop up top. I always start on the one side and run it back like that. I'll go to the bottom and do the same. Start far side, run it over. Okay, so now with this, you're going to want to spin. As you're spinning, start to hit it with the UV. I usually do it about 10-15 seconds. There you go. Done. Now you can come in, clip this piece of wire in the back off. Get yourself a pair of cutters of any sort. I like just a pair of these. You can get way down to it like that. Cut that off. There you go. Nice white or olive Marabou Spey fly. It's kind of hard to show it directly on it, but get the idea. Nice fly for Great Lakes steelhead.